So, this right here is the Samsung Galaxy Book 4 Edge with the Snapdragon X. Now this is a very interesting laptop primarily because it is one of the more affordable Snapdragon based notebooks in our country. You can buy this for about 60,000 rupees with discounts. Affordable and Samsung products generally don't go hand in hand, but that's not true for the Book 4 Edge. So I'm glad about that. But more importantly, the question that we need to ask is, can Samsung make a laptop that can go up against rivals like Asus, HP, Lenovo, Dell, the ones that traditionally have been making PCs? Well, let's find that out in this video. If you're watching me for the first time, I'm Esha. This is Trakin English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. Firstly, let's take a step back and, let me give you a refresher on the Snapdragon X platform itself. So you've got three SoCs. You've got the Snapdragon X Elite, the Snapdragon X Plus, and the Snapdragon X, which is basically the Snapdragon X1, 2600. Now, with the Snapdragon X Elite, what you get are 12 Orion CPU cores. With Snapdragon X Plus, you get 10 cores, and with the Snapdragon X, you get 8 cores. Anyway, coming back to the Book 4 Edge, it's got the base Snapdragon X variant, which has 8 cores CPU, and you also do get 16GB LPDDR5X RAM and 512GB of Gen 4 SSD as well. Now we ran our usual suite of benchmarks, and in Geekbench AI, Geekbench 6 and Cinebench R24, the Book 4 Edge performs like any other Snapdragon X powered machine would. And of course, this information is something that I've shared in my previous videos about Snapdragon X laptops too. The Snapdragon X is actually a very powerful, chip for a Windows machine in this price range. Numbers aside, for everyday tasks like for document creations, browsing the internet, all of that is absolutely smooth and responsive on the Book 4 Edge. And if you want to do some creative work, like for example photo editing, it should handle it absolutely fine. Or video editing workflow should be fine too. Basically like 1 or 2 timelines of 4K footage, it can render it and edit it in real time on Premiere Pro. But more importantly, with Snapdragon based machines, the biggest advantage is of course the power efficiency, and which is also the highlight of the Book 4 Edge. So what you get is a 61.2 watt-hour battery that Samsung claims can last up to 27 hours on a single charge. And in our test, it lasted about 9 to 10 hours, which is fantastic, and it's good enough for regular everyday usage because you start the laptop in the morning and by evening you'll have to put it for charge. That's about it, but otherwise full day battery life is guaranteed. And the other advantage with Snapdragon X machines, including the Book 4 Edge, is that you get full performance workloads even when it's unplugged. You don't need to really plug it to get like full performance. Also, with the Book 4 Edge, you get a 45 watt USB-C charger inside the box, so it tops up really fast too. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, Windows on ARM. The good news is that the support has improved massively. A lot of apps are running natively on ARM now. This of course includes almost all of your Microsoft apps like Word, Excel, Teams, all of them. Of course, Edge works natively as well, but even Chrome works natively now. What this means is that Chrome doesn't actually bring the machine down to its knees because of course it's optimized well for this. And of course, for the creative folks out there, Photoshop works fine. DaVinci Resolve is officially supported as well. And for the gamers, Fortnite is also coming soon. And there are a few games that do work absolutely fine on, Windows on ARM. Now, since this is a Copilot Plus PC, you do have a lot of the Windows AI features built in. For example, Recall is there, Co-Creator for Paint is available, Live Captions is available, and even Windows Studio Effects. By the way, with Windows Studio Effects, you can actually do background blur, portrait lighting, and eye contact correction, which makes video calls look a lot better than regular video calls. Samsung also bundles Microsoft Office free with this laptop, and you do get Samsung Care Plus benefits too, which includes a bunch of things which I'll show you on the screen right now. So this is definitely a good job, Samsung. But yes, if you're a gamer, then Windows on ARM does need more time to gestate and get more games working for ARM so that it can be considered as a good alternative to the traditional x86 platform. Now talking about the display, this is a 15.6 inch IPS LCD full HD display. It's an anti-glare display, and you also get 300 nits of peak brightness and 60 Hz refresh rate too. Overall, for the price, it's a pretty decent panel. So for everyday work, the colors are tuned really well, and the viewing angles are fine too. Nothing to complain about really. But what's impressive about the Book 4 Edge is that it's extremely slim and lightweight. It's about 1.5 kilograms and it's 15 millimeters in thickness totally, which is not bad either. And you get a sapphire blue finish, and even the bezels on the display are pretty thin. The sapphire blue is like a typical Samsung color kind of thing, and it looks pretty good if you ask. Very professional. Now, of course, below the display, you've got the full-sized keyboard, which means that you also do get a numpad, which is nice, but there are a couple of things that I must definitely highlight is that the key travel is not that great, and of course the arrow keys are extremely tiny. We also get a fairly large plastic trackpad which supports all of the Windows gestures that you need. Now coming to the build quality, one good thing is that Samsung claims there are a bunch of recycled materials used for the build of the product, which is nice. However, I did notice some keyboard flex which could have been avoided, but there is no top lid flex, which is good. But there's one more thing that I must definitely mention is that, it's not, look at this. You can't actually lift the lid open with your finger easily. Now for the ports, you get two Type-C Gen 4 ports on the left along with an HDMI 2.1 slot, and on the right you have the micro SD card slot, a 3.5mm headphone jack, and a USB Type-A 3.2 port. It's actually a very well balanced port selection if you ask me, because for a thin and light machine you do get almost everything that you would need. Of course the micro SD card could have been a full SD card slot, but I'll take this. This is good. Oh, by the way, I completely forgot to mention that you get a full HD webcam which is powered by Snapdragon's ISP, which means that the picture quality is really good, and you also do get dual mics for noise cancellation. In fact, this is one of the better webcams that I've used. But yeah, you do not get a privacy shutter. So for 60,000 rupees after discounts, is the Galaxy Book 4 Edge worth it? Well, I'd say yeah, it's a good option to consider for sure, because firstly you get a sleek design, you get Snapdragon X performance, you also do get long-lasting battery life and Samsung's ecosystem features too. If you're a student or a professional and if you want an AI PC only, because a lot of people seem to be caring about the AI features and also to do AI coding work and stuff like that, then you cannot go wrong with this one because it doesn't pinch your pocket either, right? Honestly, with the Book 4 Edge, what I felt is that Samsung is not just trying to enter the market with its own, Snapdragon X based machine. It's trying to democratize it. It's trying to make it more affordable and accessible to more people so that they can try it out too. Do you guys think that is true? What do you guys think of the Book 4 Edge? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep tracking and stay safe.